don't know either. Hi, Maliya. How are you? Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome to Between Two Viewers. I believe you are episode 21 or 19, something like that. So I started, this is Maliya Travers-Crumb, by the way. Nice to meet you. I love your pots. I love your themes. I love what you do. I love your decoration. You're going to decorate while we chat, so that's very cool. I started releasing one a week because I was just kind of throwing them out there as I did them. And my wife said, you should really save those and do one a week. So I polled everybody, and they said, yes, you should. So you'll be out in a couple of weeks.
Cheers.
So tell us about you. Where are you from?
I'm from Rochester, New York. It's where I still am. I'm in a big old warehouse space that's been divided into artist studios. So it's a pretty sweet spot. There's just surrounded by artists who do different mediums, and everyone does art for a living.
So you're in Rochester, New York. You know I'm in Naples, New York.
I did not know that. So
I'm a half an hour south of you.
All right.
We got to get together.
Yeah, absolutely. Trade mine.
Where is are you in that what do they call that big building that people share? What's that called? Isn't it?
Where I'm at is called Maidon State.
Oh, okay. There's one right there by Memorial Art Gallery, I think.
The Anderson Arts Building?
Yeah, it's a huge brick building, and you can rent the rooms, I think, for studios. Yeah.
This is very similar. It's just a couple miles away.
That's so cool. See, I didn't know you were in Rochester, and I researched you a little bit this morning, too. Very cool. Good to know.
I guess I don't publicize that a lot.
Probably a good thing. Just tell everyone you're in Sweden.
Yes.
Do you sell at Memorial Art Gallery?
No, I've done the Memorial Art Gallery clothesline show before, but it's been maybe 3 years since I've done any in-person shows. I just do everything online.
How was Clothesline? I've heard good things about that one.
It's really fantastic.
Yeah, a bunch of people said you should do Clothesline, but it's a summer thing, isn't it?
It's a summer thing, and it's a tent show, which as a potter, tent shows really scare the crap out of me, because if it's a windy day...
Oh, yeah.
I had a bad experience once where I was given a booth. I won't say by who, but I won a booth, basically. Mm-hmm. And they set up a tent for me and did all the things, but they didn't put any weights on it, and it was a really windy day, so there came a moment where it was me and 3 people who just happened to be in my tent, just standing at all the edges, literally holding it down.
Oh my God.
And it's really dissuaded me from doing outdoor shows.
Yeah, that's interesting. I used to do, I worked for a golf company selling clubs, and we would go with those tents, and I remember standing there like this and just holding on to the thing a couple times. And if you got ceramics in there, that does not sound like fun.
No.
So, are you from Rochester? Did you grow up there?
I grew up right outside of Rochester in a small town called Avon in Livingston County.
Yeah,
There's actually one of the best pottery supply stores in the area in
Studio
Avon.
Sales.
Yeah,
Mike.
Studio Sales. Mike's specialist.
I was there last week.
Oh, he keeps me in really good supplies. Can't speak highly enough of him. Mike
is a great guy. He's a great thrower, too. You ever seen him throw before?
Not in person, no.
Yeah, he throws like a madman. He's a lot of fun. He's a hockey ref, too, I think, or something like that.
Well, there's something I didn't know about him.
Yep, and he's like the president of the Hockey Refs Association. He's been doing it for a long time. But yeah, that's a great. I was over there the other day. I got relays from my kiln. So
yeah,
they're before they go. I'm gonna change them. I think I might head. What kiln do you?
Them off. I don't think I've ever done that before they went.
Really? Yeah. I think I want to be proactive and not have a misfiring. But they're still sitting on the shelf, so I'm not that proactive. Let's not get crazy.
You have them before they go. You don't have to wait for them to come in the mail for you to install them. So I'd say you're way ahead of the game.
Yeah, I actually have new elements and a new thermocouple up there as well, because I've had that before where you got to wait for the thermocouple. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if you got stuff going on, it's not ideal.
Not ideal at all.
Not ideal. What kiln do you use?
Oh, it's a Bailey.
Oh, yeah.
Got it from Mike. He gave me a really sweet deal on it. It had like a manufacturer error or something, so he fixed it.
Is it a front loader?
No, it's a top loader.
Oh, okay. because I know the guy who makes the kilns for Bailey,
Oh,
Freddie Fredrickson. He was the kiln teacher, or the kiln, I don't know, kiln tech at Alfred University for a long time.
oh, cool.
And actually, my friend Sean just took his job, but he makes the kilns for Bailey, and then Bailey takes his name off it. They put Bailey on it.
Oh, so are you an Alfred guy?
I went to Alfred, but I went to Alfred for theater.
Oh,
It's
that's
funny.
good. I studied illustration in school, actually. I never went for ceramics.
Really? So when did you first touch clay? That's one of my questions I have on here.
I actually first touched clay in high school. I went
Uh-huh.
to a small private school here in Rochester called Mercy.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And my teacher, her husband is the ceramics professor at Nazareth. Mitch
Uh-huh.
Messina, you might know of him.
Yep. Yep.
And I guess they updated their studio and donated all of their old equipment to Mercy. So Mrs. Messina, she's the coolest. We get together for coffee every once in a while, but she was my high school ceramics teacher.
That's very cool. I can't believe you're from Avon.
Yeah, I know. It's a small world.
It's just crazy, man. That's too cool. Yeah, so high school. I didn't get to touch it in high school. I wish I did. I think I'd be way further along.
I know.
Or
I wish I didn't touch it for many years after, though. I got back into ceramics when I was, I think, like 22 or 23.
Uh-huh.
I had a
Did
little
you
bit
go to
of that.
college? Where'd you go to
Yeah.
college?
I went to Oberlin College in Ohio and studied
Mm-hmm.
English Lit, and then ended up double majoring in studio art.
Oh,
And
very
then
cool.
after that, I moved back to Rochester. My mom's a sign language interpreter and had worked at RIT for like 30 years, so I was able to get that cool deal that they don't really have anymore, where you can go to school for free if your parent works there.
Yep.
So I ended up getting another undergraduate degree in illustration at RIT.
Wow, that's freaking so cool. And to be able to take advantage of that. Yeah, they don't have that anymore?
I think they have a form of it, but it's not actually like fully covered in the same way.
I don't understand why they get rid of all the good things in life.
Me neither,
You know what I mean? Like, why would you get rid of that?
right?
What a perk. Just crazy. And you were a drawing major, so that explains.
Yeah, I've always been really involved in the decoration stage. It's one of my favorite parts, but I understandably RIT really pushes digital.
Yeah.
And there was just something like, it feels like I didn't make anything if it's all just stored in files on a computer. I love the physical aspect of clay.
Yeah, it's like an NFT.
Yeah.
Like, I never understood those. I played golf with a guy last year. He made a lot of money off of an NFT. I'm like, what are you talking about? It doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, I don't get it. So I'm messing around here. I got my buddy. This is like I had this cone shape that I made as a slump mold.
hmm
I don't know why I made this actual shape, but I was looking at it the other day. My buddy used to tell me, he said, if you make trophies, for like the golf courses, like club championship and stuff like that, so it's going to be like that,
Oh, that's fantastic.
right? Who knows? Well, we'll see. This is the first go around.
The
Right?
inaugural trophy.
Yeah, this might completely fail, but it's not a bad idea. He's like, you should do that. You would sell those to every golf course in the area. So okay, what the heck? Why not? So,
Yeah, that could be a cool little niche.
little side thing. The problem for me is I am so busy at work. I work literally 7 days a week for 7 months a year. So it's kind of like, it kind of kills. Oh, as
Sorry,
you.
that was my original alarm to stop what
Oh,
I was
yeah.
doing and prepare for this.
Go talk to Mike.
Yeah.
It kind of kills my ceramics but it also allows me to do this kind of as much as I want in the winter. So I try not to hate it so much. But,
Fair enough. It's all about balance.
yeah, it is. As my friend bought the golf course, so as we both get a little bit older, I don't have to do as much. And, I'm starting to see a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
It's a broke light. It's a light with no money, but
hmm
oh well. I just don't want to work until I'm 70. I don't want to have to do that.
No.
But oh well.
No, I retired. I think, gosh, almost 3 years ago now. I quit my day job.
Did you?
Yeah.
What was your day job?
I was an office manager at all six of the U of R urgent cares.
Oh, okay.
It
Wow.
was a very kind
That's
of
stressful.
corporate job. I worked
Yeah.
in healthcare during the pandemic. That was pretty bad.
Fun. Yeah.
Um, and really just couldn't do it anymore. I worked with some really amazing people. I just couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah. Lucky you. That's great. I mean, at a young age too. That's fantastic.
Yeah,
And I mean, it's nice to be able to do what you love. You
absolutely.
do, you do have a ton of followers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Holy heck. So does that equate to sales for you?
In a lot of ways, yes, because through that I've managed to build up a decent like email subscriber list.
Yeah.
And I just basically do all of my advertising work through Instagram, which is a little scarier now. I feel like a lot of people are leaving in droves, so I'm going to have to maybe rethink my advertising strategy a bit and
Mhm.
um, I don't know, just try to expand a little to other sources. But yeah, it's worked pretty well for me for the past 4 or 5 years.
I like your merch. You got t-shirts and stuff too, which is cool, right?
Yeah, I do those sort of intermittently. But it's fun. I work with some cool local folks on with screen printing. I've
Yeah.
worked with both Hide the Bodies Press and
Uh-huh.
Kitty Box Press. They're both really good.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I asked that because, I was actually talking to an artist on here a couple of weeks ago, and he's like, he said, I don't want to be like, I don't care if I'm well known or whatever it is. He goes, I just want to make more of a living off my pots,
Yeah,
you know? And he's like, I know people that were on the cover of Ceramics Monthly and still can't sell their pots. Like, people are like, yeah, we love your stuff. It's like, okay, well then, buy
buy
two or three.
them. Yeah,
Yeah. You know,
yeah,
you just click on the like button and then you keep scrolling. That's great.
yeah. I feel like it really helps that I'm very niche, so I cater to a group of people, cat people, that feel
Yep.
very passionately about the thing that they love, which is cats, which
Yep.
I have always been obsessed with cats, maybe to like an odd like when I was a child,
Odd
ever
level.
since. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a point in my life where I would make my mom draw a nose and whiskers on my face and eyeliner, or I would throw like a next level fit and not leave the house. So it was just one of those battles that she decided not to fight.
That is too funny. If you don't give me kitty whiskers, there's going to be hell to
Oh
pay.
no, there will be hell to pay.
There could be way worse things your kids are making you do.
Oh,
So that's
absolutely. I agree with her that that's not a battle worth fighting. If you
no.
want to drink a bowl of milk in the middle of the floor, more power to you.
Go right ahead. Yeah. Yep. My daughter is a theater girl, so
Oh,
she's
cool.
she's she's a lot of fun. She's got tons of energy, loves to sing and dance, and yeah,
That sounds very entertaining.
she's a blast. And she's finally decided to play golf this year, which is
Ooh.
I'm trying not to go like, oh my god. I'm like, okay, whatever, man, just
Keep it
whatever,
cool,
man.
keep it cool.
Yeah, just do your thing. I don't care. Don't care at all.
Yeah, this isn't a
Yeah,
big deal to me. What do you mean?
not a big deal. It's only a dream come true. Yeah, yeah. Well, ever since she was little, I put a club in her hands because I started when I was like 5, and she's, I hate to say it, she's got this, she's got it. She has the swing,
Yeah,
and you just got to kind of let them like it somehow.
yeah.
I don't know what that is. I've been teaching golf my whole life, and you just can't make someone do something they don't really want to do. And golf is hard. It's like it's very annoying. But I told her, I said, you got to set your own little tiny goals for you to beat. Like we were hitting balls. We have a indoor golf simulator here at the golf
Oh,
course,
cool.
and she hit one and it went like 89 yards. I said, so now that is your new goal. Your next goal is to hit one 90 yards.
Yeah.
So before we left, she hit one 102 and she was jumping up and down.
That's very
We,
sweet.
I guess we'll see what happens. She's a sweetheart. Her name's Ada.
I like that name. I love a palindrome.
AD, yeah, me too. ADA. Actually, I was playing. What was I playing yesterday? Resident Evil. You a gamer?
I am not a gamer at all.
I was playing Resident Evil, and the girl, the female role in it, her name is Ada. I was like, oh my god, that's cool. So, and part of it in the game was I had to save Ada. Like I had to go save her. Had
Yeah,
to battle.
sounds like something you'd be willing to do in real life too.
Yeah, yeah. I've done that before.
Feels familiar.
So back to quitting your full time job. That's like so awesome and so scary at the same time, isn't it?
100%. Because, well, also because I'm diabetic, so the healthcare was really good there, and it was, I
Yeah.
think that was the scariest thing for me in losing like regular employment was that being up in the air.
Yeah, I bet.
Um, and it was really expensive for a couple of years. I recently got married to my longtime partner, and I'm getting healthcare through his employment now. So
I
that's
saw that.
been
Congratulations, by the way.
win-win. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a big thing for ceramic artists. I mean, I'm 54 and I still don't have health insurance. And I don't know if it's ever going to be a thing. Hopefully I make it to 65 and I get Medicare,
I
which is
yeah. It's so scary though, and I just happen to be one of those people who simply can't live without it.
yeah, it's definitely a messed up system. That's a whole
Yeah,
nother
the
podcast.
idea of healthcare being tied to employment is so criminal. But well, I believe the whole healthcare system is criminal. So
I completely agree. And you see what's interesting too is what cracks me up is dental is not part of the healthcare system.
your vanity bones.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. That's perfect. Vanity bones. But like if you don't have teeth, you're going to die.
Yes,
Or you're going to you have to eat.
so mixed into health. Like if you have bad teeth, you're gonna have blood pressure issues, heart issues, the whole shebang.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think I shared a meme and it was like, "Oh, I'm so glad somebody what was it? Since you don't get dental in your healthcare, they created dental insurance which also doesn't cover anything."
No.
You know?
Hmm.
Like I want to go to the dentist. Like one of the guys who owns a golf course is a dentist, and
Good connection to have.
yes, I went and got a tooth pulled last year, but he's like the implant guy. He's not a dentist.
Okay.
So I'm like, well, what do you think? Should I pull it out? He says, I think you should go to your dentist and have him tell me if you want me to pull it out. I'm
Hmm.
like, well, I gotta go in
Great.
there
So
and
I'll
pay.
go pay $400 for someone to tell you if you should pull my tooth out. How about I just decide you should do it?
Yeah, I said, just take it out. And then, halfway through there, he goes, "Oh yeah, you're right. This thing definitely needed to be pulled."
Hmm.
But it was like he wasn't allowed to tell me.
That's so bizarre.
Yeah. Or it's just insane. Yeah, I don't know. But he's like, well, I called me today. I got this tooth pain. He said, well, go to your dentist. I said, no, because I'm going to walk in the dentist and they're going to go, you need this, 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 and this. It's going to be $6,000.
Hmm. But literally 6,000.
Yeah, literally $6,000. I had one implant put in a couple years ago. I've always had just crappy teeth. Some people are born
Me
with crappy
too,
teeth.
actually.
Bad vanity bones.
I know. Weak enamel.
I guess I don't know. But it was like $3,500 to put the implant in.
Yeah.
But then you got to go back to your dentist and they make the crown, which is $1,700.
Yes.
And then you take the crown back to the other implant guy and he screws it in for another $900.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I could just take them all out and just put in wood like George Washington.
Yeah. I mean, I don't wish that for myself, but more power to you.
Yeah, whatever works, man. Yeah. I love the puking cat. That's really cool.
Thank you. That was one of like my most viral moments. That's when like I started to gain much more of a following, and it was funny because it was just like it was like a joke piece because it's not very functional, but it's been
Yeah,
one of my biggest sellers. I have to go back and keep making those all the time because people are always asking for them.
that's pretty wild. Yeah, so what I was telling somebody about, like, I was asking if that many followers kind of equates to sales, because I relate everything back to the golf course because that's what I do for a living. But
Hmm.
I tell we have our club championship, say, right, and a small golf course with 60 members. I say here's kind of how it works. you'll get maybe 20% of your members sign up for stuff.
Oh,
So if we got 60 members, you got 12 guys in the club championship. When the guys are signed up, they're like, how come nobody's playing the club championship? I said, well, they are. It's just, so I'm wondering if, you get 165,000 followers, if 20% buy stuff would
I
be,
don't think that many percent.
that'd be nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Oh, it's hard to say because it really ebbs and flows, especially throughout the year.
Holidays and whatnot.
Yeah, I really have to prep hard for holidays and like go hard with like posting all the time, doing things because it's like a really complicated game. I guess I am a gamer, but social media is my game.
Yeah.
Because it's like playing with the algorithm. It's like you have to try a million different things to find one that sticks, and then it's like, great, you found one that sticks, and now all of your other stuff is going to do better. But you can't always guess what it's going to do.
Yeah. I'd
So,
love to know more about the algorithm because I can't figure it out. I
oh,
just try to post as much as I can and
yeah, it's all guesswork, and it's all, I don't know. I try something, it doesn't work, so I know I have to try something else. Like,
hmm
because, I don't know, doing the same thing over and over, like, they don't want the same thing. So it's like you just have to keep coming up with new ideas.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
don't know, the new ideas have been running a little dry. I haven't been doing a lot of social media stuff. I've been more focusing on studio, but
hmm
it'll come back.
Is that a big black cat, your chair?
My chair?
You're sitting in? Yeah.
No,
Oh,
it's actually a gaming chair, but it had giant googly eyes that I put on
okay.
it. One of them has since fallen off.
Okay. Because it looks like there's an ear on it, but it must be the
Oh,
board
probably
behind it.
it might be I painted a mural behind me.
Oh,
So
wicked.
maybe that's it.
Very cool. So do you rent that space?
Yeah,
Oh, cool. Yeah.
it's huge. I never expected to find a space like this,
Yeah.
but can't complain.
No, I want to open a creative art studio here in Naples and have like
Ooh,
a big giant room with like 7 or 8 wheels and a bunch of, 2 big kilns and just let people make ceramics, and fire them for them and have like a open studio space where you pay a monthly fee and you get a key card and you come and go as much as you want. That sounds great to me,
yeah,
but
yeah.
you
That
got to,
sounds like kind of similar to where I did a residency um, at Flower City Art Center in Rochester. They're
yeah,
completely
hmm
fantastic. Um,
yeah.
Usually the residencies only last 1 to 2 years, but I actually did 3 years. Just because my first year was COVID and we didn't get to do most of the normal stuff, so they let me stay on an extra year.
Oh, very cool. I actually just got into the Flower City Pottery Invitational for next year.
Congratulations! That's always a fantastic show. I'll see
It's
you
a
there.
good show. Thank you. You're going to be there next year too?
Oh, I'm not
Are you in
invited.
it?
I go. I just always go and buy things.
Oh. Yeah, it's really cool. Wes Brown invited me. You know Wes?
Oh, sorry. I'm just gonna turn off the heating because it's so
Sure.
loud.
Take your time. I'm going to grab another slab. Is it blowing too hard over there or what? Is it just blowing too hard, making noise?
Yeah, and it's directly in my ear.
Oh, yeah. Good. Gotcha. Wes invited me. Do you know Wes Brown?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know him well, but I've met him at that show and talked about his work with him.
Yeah, it was really cool to have him invite me, which was because, 10, 12 years ago, as a new potter, I used to go to that show and be like, oh my God, you people are awesome. And to be in it is very cool.
Yeah, I've been going to that show for many years.
The hard part for me, and I was just telling this to someone the other day, is that um, I start work and then I can't make pots. So I'm trying to save up pots now because it's in October.
Yeah, so you've got to do it before your busy season.
Yes. So, and you don't, for me, I don't know about you. When I open the kiln, I like probably a third of what comes out of it.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Wow, okay, good. Yeah. It's not only me, is it? I don't know, man. I opened the kiln the other day and it's just like depressed me.
Yeah,
And then it takes me. Does that happen to you?
I had a bad kiln opening the week before last where I decided to try something new. I took a
Yep.
bunch of pots that were just underglazed and the rim was left raw.
Yep.
So I was like, oh, I can flip them upside down and glaze the bottom, so that's nice. But I guess the underglaze I was using had just enough flux that they all stuck.
Oh
And
no.
so all of the rims were chipped and horrible. I was able
Oh.
to like sand some of them down and refire, but they all turned out just awful.
Ugh. Ugh. Yeah, that's tough. I haven't had a good
Live and
kiln.
learn.
I haven't had a good kiln catastrophe like that in a couple of years, but and honestly, because I'm mostly a terra sigillata guy,
Okay.
so I know what's going into the kiln and I pretty much know what's coming out. Like there's not too much guesswork in the terra sigillata for me, but I don't know. Sometimes I look at my stuff and I'm very lucky that people like what I make because I go, ah, God, why am I doing this?
Yeah, the average doesn't struggle like, oh,
Yeah,
why would
like
someone buy this one? It's so
yeah. Have you noticed that, like, if you've done a few shows, like you said, the clothesline show, where you
yeah, and I'm
take
like, oh,
these,
that's the one you want? I mean, I'm not gonna make a sale not happen, but like, really?
yeah, like, have you noticed that, like, the worst piece, the one you hate the most, is like the first one that sells?
Yes, I have noticed that.
I don't get it,
Me neither.
but
But, there's no accounting for taste.
oh man. So what are you a stoneware, white stoneware?
I
What kind of?
primarily use porcelain,
Okay. Yep.
and I primarily slip cast. But since the start of the year, I just really needed to switch things up because I was getting really stagnant and bored. So I've actually been using red clay and throwing everything on the wheel and then
Very
covering
cool.
it in a layer of black slip and painting white on top.
Oh, right on. Red clay, unite!
Yeah,
The
it's
power of red clay. I love red clay.
it's
This is a
so friendly. Like going from porcelain to red clay. Like I can just leave you here. I don't have to wrap you up.
yeah. Yeah, isn't that nice?
It's so nice.
I have a damp box over here, and I put it in there, and I could just leave it completely uncovered, and
Mhm.
the next morning there's just perfect to work on. They're like the perfect leather hard.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice because I used to be up at the Rochester Folk Art Guild. You ever been there?
No, I haven't actually.
It's in Middlesex.
Okay.
Really cool, old kind of like hippie commune, and it really is. And it's about 15 minutes from my house. But you'd cover mugs, and you cover them pretty well, and then you drive up there in the snow and you uncover them, and you're like, oh darn it, they're too wet to work on. And now it's 3 in the afternoon. I'm like, I don't want to
And you
start
don't
new.
want to dry it too fast because then you'll just end up breaking it.
Yeah, yeah, story of my life. I have a torch. I'm always torching stuff. I'm actually teaching a workshop here down in North Carolina in a few weeks, and they're like, well, what should we have? I said, well, if you have torches, that's great. And everyone gets all worried about the torch. I'm like, they're like, can we use a hairdryer? I said, yeah, but it'll take you an hour and a half.
Yeah.
We could sit there and chat while.
Have.
Yeah, you're paying me no matter what. But it's going to be fun. I'm excited. It's the Coastal Carolina Clay Guild. It's going to be a good time.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me see what you're doing there. So that's black slip over white?
Yeah, so it's black slip over thrown red clay, and then I'm painting white slip on top.
Oh, you're painting the white slip onto the.
Yeah.
I thought you were sgraffitoing that.
No, that's paint.
Oh, very cool.
And then it
So
turns out. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
what did you make your black slip out of?
I didn't.
Oh, okay. So it's speedball.
Yes, I don't primarily use speedball.
Yep.
I'm using that because I'm covering larger quantities. Usually for my black, I'm very specific about only using this Duncan Easy Stroke. It
Yep.
doesn't have any cobalt in it, and it's incredibly stable under clear glaze, so you can keep all that detail work if you're doing really detailed black line work.
Very cool. Yep. And how'd you figure that out? Just trial and error, right?
No, it was actually someone at Flower City back when I was a renter I kept having, oh, I think I have one of my mistakes that I was so upset about.
Yeah, let me see. We love seeing mistakes.
Yeah.
That's how we learn.
So back then, I was just using the, what is it, Amico Velvet Black, and my
Yeah.
pieces kept coming out like this.
Oh yeah, yeah. I love that
And
dog.
it's my dog. And it's funny because I love this piece now that I've, been able to live with it. But back then I was like, no, everything is ruined. And a very sweet studio renter named Gail, she's still there. She's an institution at that place.
Uh-huh.
Told me the black that she uses, and I've been using it ever since.
And it doesn't do the drip thing, the run thing.
Not even a little bit. It's so.
I made yesterday actually. I did just a mix of cobalt and water
Mm-hmm.
because I kind of want that run.
Yeah.
So I made a slip with tile 6 porcelain and cobalt, and just had a mug body, and I just scratched it into this is basically a test tile.
Yeah.
And I filled the cobalt slip in there and then wiped it away. So we'll see. And then I put my white glaze over it, which is, a lot comes through.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hopefully it gets a little bit of run. Hopefully not too much run.
Exactly. It's all about balance. But yeah, for me, and what I generally go for, let me see if I have a fancy. Yeah, so for what I generally go for, the nice, clean, like dark black line work is really cool. So I did not like the cobalt in it.
Was that a porcelain piece?
Yeah, this is just more of my standard, what I regularly do. It's porcelain, just painted with black underglaze and then dipped into clear.
Yeah, that's a good clear.
It's a studio recipe at Flower City. They
Really?
I have the recipe written down somewhere, but that's a self-mixed one.
I've struggled with clear for a while.
Yeah, because you don't want it to be too shiny.
Yeah.
Otherwise it like kind of cheapens the look, but you don't want it to be cloudy.
Yeah, and I don't know why that's like the hardest thing to get. I've seen people make so many different glazes.
Balance.
A matte clear. I've never seen one work.
And I've actually tried a lot of them.
Yeah, so I do a lot of this underglaze and over terra sigillata.
Yeah.
So I like the matte kind of exterior.
Yeah.
But so if I put clear on this, it completely changes the look of it.
100%. It changes the colors. It changes the texture.
Yeah, so it's kind of not my thing. I want to find a way to do it, so then I can decorate the inside of bowls like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I can't do this on the surface, the eating surface, without a clear glaze. So then all the decoration is on the bottom.
Oh, that is difficult. Well, I
You
can
know what I'm
give
saying?
you my clear recipe or give you some to try if you have any interest.
I have a tile here. That's what I was just looking for, because I tried to clear the other day, and I'll show you what it comes out like. Like it works, but I go, ugh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's not the same, though. It's not
Yeah,
the
there it
same.
is, yeah. No, it's not. It's just not kind of. It kind of works. I'd love to try yours. I think
Oh, that's nice, though.
it's okay. It's like I don't know.
not
You know what I
what
did
you're
do?
looking
Here, I'll show you something that you might have a thought on this that might be pretty interesting. So, oh, I gotta let my cat in. Hold on. Come on, buddy. Here, good boy. So this bowl, right? So it's just a scalloped bowl, which I do hand built in. I do them in these bases and build them like that. But I floral decorated the top. But then I coated it with liquid quartz. Have you seen that stuff?
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it. And it's food safe?
It's cool. I'll show you. Here, watch this. I don't know if you can see it from over there, but if I spray it with water, it just runs right off. It's really cool. So yeah, so the first question any potter says is it food safe?
Yeah.
Right? Like, yeah, that looks great.
Immediately.
You know, yeah. if you look, you can see it's all kind of beaded up. I don't know if you can
Yeah,
see
that
it.
seems like a really good solution to that problem.
I think so. So here's the thing. It says on their website, and I'm going to email them again, that it's food safe, it's cutlery safe.
Okay.
They said they use them on plates in restaurants in Australia.
All right.
I'm like, maybe, but I don't know if I'd let my kids eat off that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You go ahead. Like, yeah,
Australians, be free.
yeah. Not my family. I don't know. I would probably serve food out of that. I don't know if I would eat food out of it.
Yeah, like maybe some like dry goods.
Yeah. Oranges, maybe. That's too funny.
That could be good on the outside of pieces that are matte so that it protects them from weathering. Does it have like any sort of sheen feel or anything? Does it make it smoother?
So no. So here's what's really weird. I'm gonna liquid quartz these later. So I'll do the exteriors of them. So they're stain resistant.
Cool.
You know, I got a white liner glaze, but it's literally just looks like water.
Where do you
It's
get
dirty
it?
because of the brush. It is, Malia. It's weird. It's it's scent free. Looks like water. You brush it on, and within a day, it's like I don't get it. So,
Yeah.
but who knows?
Scientific mystery.
Maybe it's the solution to this, but who knows? But I texted my friend Rose. Do you know Rose and Matt Katz? They run the ceramic materials workshop. They're super smart, like glaze guru people that do all the scientific stuff that I think as potters myself just take advantage of because that's a lot.
I take the recipes without knowing how they work.
Yes, you say this one works? Thank you, and I dip it.
I don't know why this material does this effect. I just know that if I mix it correctly, it will work.
Yes. So they do all that, and I actually used to work with Rose, so I know her. So I sent her a message, and I said, "Tell me what you think of this liquid quartz." And she said, "It's made for sealing countertops."
Okay.
So I don't. She wouldn't definitively say that it would be food safe.
Yeah,
But
because
again,
I guess you could. Would I eat off a countertop?
I probably would. I've eaten off worse.
I haven't thought about it before, but
Yeah.
I suppose that would be fine.
Depends whose house the countertop is in.
100%.
And how many pets they have.
Cats are all over them constantly.
Oh my God. We got a dog. We got a COVID dog a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Her name's Lady. She's an Aussie doodle. So she's super smart, but she's like so smart she's dumb. You know what I mean?
She's smart enough to get herself into real trouble.
She's a dingbat.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing? But she's super cute, so it doesn't matter.
100%.
But we got her because the Aussie doodle was supposed to be like a non-shedding dog. That was a big... That didn't happen.
That's a shame. It would be nice. I can't imagine a non-shedding dog. Mine is
Everywhere.
a Beagle Jack Russell mix, and he's just... The amount of hair off of this tiny dog is unreal.
Ours, it's like what do you call those things out in the old Western movies that would tumble across? Tumbleweed.
Tumbleweeds, yep.
Yeah, it's like little black fur tumbleweeds going.
Yep.
Here, I'll watch. So it's just like.
Okay.
It's just wet. And that's it. And then leave that on there and it's totally sealed.
How bizarre.
Yeah. I wonder how that would work over your... Well, you know who does it? That I kind of learned it from, or heard about it from first, is Sarah Anderson.
Oh, yeah, I know her work.
Yep. So she's an underglaze lady on the outside, so she coats all of her stuff with it. And I was like, wait, what?
Oh, I didn't realize that her pots were primarily left unglazed on the outside.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So then, I mean, that's it. It's like super simple, blah, 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 done. So easy. So,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I've been working more with, like, painting only certain areas of glaze, like... So I've been leaving more matte surfaces lately, and that would be interesting to try.
Yeah.
Do you just get it, like, online?
Yeah, you gotta find the Liquid Quartz website. I'll send you a message with it.
That would be very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, it's not very cheap. I just got a big bottle of it was like 200 and something dollars.
Oof.
Yeah, it's probably more than I'll ever need. Got to be prepared.
Absolutely.
But I think what they're trying to do, it was expensive because it has to come from Australia. And I think they're opening a U.S., what you call it?
Distributor.
Yeah, warehouse. Yep. Oh, there we go.
All right,
Yeah.
maybe I'll wait it out until they get a U.S. distributor.
Sure, or I'll bring you some. Shit, you're only a half hour away.
Okay, 15 minutes.
Right? Oh, man. So what wheel do you throw on?
I have a Clay Boss wheel. I got it off of Craigslist a couple of years ago.
Uh-huh.
Amazing deal. It was during the craze where everyone was buying wheels too, so I just got very fortunate in that I got to it before anyone else did.
I was that Facebook Marketplace. You can go down a couple of rabbit holes in there.
I believe that.
I got a buddy that every time he travels, he Facebook Marketplaces just to see what's around where he is. And he's like, "Oh, I got this in Richmond, Virginia for $12." Okay. I was on there the other day and I found a pug mill for like $500.
That's wild.
I was like, "Ooh, I want that." Of course, it was in Pennsylvania. It was like pickup only,
Gotcha.
but for $500, it's worth the drive. Problem was, it was one of those factory industrial ones.
Yeah, so it's the weight of it driving it home. Can my car take 2,000 pounds?
Yeah. As I researched it, it was like 9 feet long, and yeah, it would take up half my studio, literally. So I was like, "Oh well, I guess I'm going to keep wedging." Where do you get your clay?
From Mike at Studio Sales.
Yep. And is it a Laguna or what is it?
It's standard.
Standard. Yep. I get mine from Alfred. I was down there the other day, talking to the guy that runs the clay store at the school, and I said, would I save something if I bought a pallet? It would last me 3 years, but
Yeah,
I
if
won't
you
have
can keep it soft, why not?
I won't have to drive down here. And he's like, not really. He's like, you get it at cost anyway.
Yeah. I was like,
Okay.
okay, do I really need to store that? No.
Yeah, I get it for $30 a box, which is really cheap.
That is really cheap.
It used to be 15.
Yeah, everything. I mean,
Well,
inflation's
yeah.
gone pretty wild.
Yeah. What was I going to say? But I got the recipe for the clay that I use, which you can't really get. It's Laguna, and Laguna only makes it for Alfred.
Interesting.
He said you can mail that recipe to Standard, and Standard will make it. So I'm gonna
Who knew? That's cool.
we'll see if Standard will make it and maybe buy a pallet.
Yeah, save some money.
I mean, it's all cost per box, really. I don't know. I'm not that busy, Yeah. I'm not selling that much where I need. I don't know. I want to get there though. Who knows? I'm not that kind of guy. Like, how many mugs do you throw when you sit down? Do you sit down and throw 50, 30, 40, 50 mugs at a time or what?
No, I'm not that fast of a thrower. I've been trying to practice throwing off the hump, so that makes it a little bit faster, but no, I'll sit down and throw like 10, 12 mugs is a good day for me.
Good, me too. Thank you. I do 10. I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore.
I am not a fast worker in any aspect of my practice.
So, if you go back and watch some of these episodes, some of them are a lot of fun. Episode 1 is my buddy Marshall, and he's like one of those crazy fast throwers that throws, 2 foot tall pots just because it's fun,
Yeah. And just 'cause it's easy for them, like no slouch.
Yeah, no, stop. It's annoying. But he sells his mugs for $25 a piece. And I say, why do you do that? He said, because I sell every single one of them.
All right. I mean, that is a reason.
Yeah.
And I guess depending on how much labor you're putting into each individual piece, it's all how you break down your labor and make sure you're paying yourself a decent living wage.
There's Naldo.
Hello.
Hey, buddy. Want to say hi? He does not like being held.
Oh, what a beauty.
Down. He's
Yeah,
a handsome boy.
I have a cat that I bring to the studio sometimes, but he's such a menace. I have to do it on days where I don't have wear on the shelves because he'll just demolish.
You've probably seen that cartoon. It's like a cat on the pottery wheel.
Yes.
He throws it, fires it, puts it on a shelf, and then knocks it off. I love it. That's the funniest thing ever.
It's really good. Have you seen the throwing cat? Like a real cat who likes to throw on the wheel? He doesn't actually. There's this girl, Sophia Renata. I don't remember. I think that's her name. But she has a cat that like she'll throw on the wheel and then he'll come and change it and like scratch it, and then she sells the pieces that they've collaborated on. It's very sweet.
That's brilliant. I need a throwing cat. Let me look at Ronaldo.
Yeah.
You need to learn how to throw. He's like, you need to let me out so I can go eat. Hold on one sec. Come on, kitty. These cats eat way too much. Come on. They're hilarious. They crack me up. He'll sit there in the morning while I'm having coffee, and he sits on the arm of the couch, just like 2 feet away, like just purring as loud as he can. Like, what do you need, dude? And I go downstairs, and there's food in the bowl. He just wants me to take him to it, you know?
Yes.
And then gets up there and goes, "Oh, hey, look at that. There's food in here. Sorry."
Yeah, he wants to share his meal with you, you know?
Yeah.
Food and company.
So you said you were going to Nsika this year?
No, not this year.
No?
I've only been once. It was the one in Cincinnati.
Yep, I was there.
It was great. I found a stray cat there and brought it home with me.
Wow. Still have it?
Oh yeah, I still have her. She quickly multiplied into 6 cats.
Wow.
But it was so
So
fun.
did you
I'd never had a kitten before, so we ended up keeping 2 of them, and we gave away 3.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I drove out to Cincinnati. It wasn't too far. It was like 6.5 hours.
Yeah, I really only can go to Nsika if it's drivable.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm hoping after Salt Lake City they'll have another East Coast one.
Yeah, well, Detroit is the year after.
Oh, okay. That seems doable.
Yeah, I'll be at the Detroit one. You know what I'm thinking about doing, actually, is getting a booth and having live interviews for the show.
Oh, that's a very cool idea.
Just sitting there going, "Hey, you, come here, talk to me." You know?
Or, wait, I know you.
Yeah, I know you. Get over here. Yeah, it'll be fun. You know, that's why I kind of started this. You know, I know so many potters, and I just love talking to them. I mean, they're just fun people. You know, and we have
much for sure. People who decide to do spend all of their time doing this.
It's an interesting bunch.
Yes, it sure is.
Yeah. I shared a meme yesterday on Instagram, and it was like, why spend $20 on a bowl when you can spend $4,000 and make your own?
Correct. Exactly how you want it until it comes out of the glaze kiln.
Then you start over.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's what he wants. He wants out. What? He just came in. Oh, yeah. I love when they go out. They're like, they sit by the door and meow, and then they go out, and then they get snow on their foot. And they go, open the door, let me back in. So no Nsika for you this year.
No.
You got any shows coming up?
I am having a shop update on my website this upcoming Friday.
Okay, sweet.
So
does that work for you? Do you do like a timed drop like some people do? Like, hey, coming up this Friday, and then boom, you sell a ton?
Yeah.
Cool.
It does trickle, like around the holidays, it's like, oh, a bunch of stuff sells out pretty quickly, but around this time of year it's nice. It's a little bit slower, so people have like time to actually look at things before they buy them. And I usually try to do like a preview, so I'll be working on listings today and tomorrow to get everything up on my website so that people can see just what'll be available at what cost.
You know, it's just a whole other level of what we have to do. You make the pieces, then you got to take pictures and measure them, and
Yes. And that's
ugh,
something I'm not looking forward to about all of these throne pieces I've done. Because something nice about the slip casting process is you can measure it once and then every other piece you use that mold for, you know exactly how much it holds.
yeah,
But
yeah,
now I
yeah,
have to like get a measuring cup and measure individually how much each of these cups hold, so that's going to be annoying.
yeah. The last sale I did, like I put pictures up of each mug, and I did mug one, mug two, mug three.
Yeah,
Like, if you like it, buy it. If not, I'm not doing all that.
exactly.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it cracks me up. Do I want to sell more? Yes. Do I want to do all that? No. So,
No, yeah, we have to draw the line somewhere
yes. Oh
because we
man,
already do a very labor intensive art form.
it is a lot. It is a lot, and people don't understand that. I talk to a lot of artists on here about pricing their work, which is tough, right?
It is.
But if you think of the hours and the time, who was on here the other day? Oh, Becky Hawthorne, Becky Manili. There's another one. Her name is Hawthorne Ceramics, but her last name is Manili. She was on here the other day, and she said, "Mike, she goes, this past making cycle, she said, I actually timed myself on all the time I was actually touching the clay. She goes, not including mixing, wedging, weighing,
Yeah, all of the other
shipping.
labor that goes into it, just the
Yep.
clay touching part.
Just touching clay was 3.5 hours per mug.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're getting $20 an hour, that's $65 right there,
100%. And I
not
will,
including anything else. Yeah.
that's one of the reasons, well, there are multiple reasons why I got into slip casting.
Yep.
Primarily, it was because I had hand surgery, and it took me a really long time to build up strength. So I taught myself
Hmm.
slip casting as a way of being able to use this art form and do it without having it be so hard on my body.
Yep.
And it ended up being a nice transition for me because I can justify spending more time on decorating if the mug takes me less time.
Yeah. That's very cool. And you mix your slip in a big 50-gallon drum or something, or?
I actually just buy pre-mixed slip. Um,
Mhm.
just 1 gallon buckets of standard slip. It's
Okay.
really easy to work with.
Yep.
And I feel like when you're mixing your own slip, you really need an industrial mixer, which I don't have. Otherwise, it's never going to get to the proper consistency, and you're just going to
Sure.
be
Yep.
throwing all of your time and energy into working with a material that's not working with you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fighting back.
Yeah. And clay does fight back.
It does fight back. It
You've
does.
got to learn to compromise with the clay or you're never going to get anything done.
I learned, talking on like episode 6 or whatever with Phil Harlem down in North Carolina, him and Ron Philbeck, uh, is that there's a lot to be said to just stop touching it. You know what I mean? Let it
110%.
let it sit. I try to teach that in all the workshops that I do. Is like, look, make a shape, leave it, go have lunch, go take a shower, leave it sitting out for an hour and a half, and come back, and it's the perfect leather hard for you to continue to manipulate it.
Or just start working on another piece. Like you don't have to
Yeah.
necessarily take a break, but relay your time so that you're not wasting your time waiting around.
Yes, exactly. I do the same thing. Well, I mean, I think a lot of potters are as equally ADHD as I am.
Yup.
I make 4 or 5 things at a time.
Yeah, I make things in batches, otherwise I won't get anything done.
No, yeah, nope, yeah, yeah, no. I have a big table right here that I had a guy make for me.
Hmm.
It's probably 15 feet long by 4 feet wide, and my wife owns a frame shop, so the whole bottom of it is framing, which is now covered with clay dust. Sorry, honey, but when I get into a making cycle, yeah, it adds color. It's custom.
100% red clay dust. It's decoration.
Oh my God, my daughter has a big white fluffy comforter on her bed,
Uh-huh.
and there's like a orange spot where the cat lays from the clay.
Yep.
It's so bad. and I could spot it across the room. Like, oh yeah, that's
I know
clay.
what that is.
Yeah, sorry. So
No, but
anyway,
yeah, batches are the only way I get anything done. I actually like have a cycle where I'll be like making things and then I transition into putting things on the computer, selling, and then packing and shipping because I like to do each stage all at once
hmm
because I I hate packing and shipping for obvious
yes,
reasons. So if I'm
me too.
doing that and mixing it into my regular work practice, I'm again not going to get anything done. I need to be able to hyper focus on the clay and then hyper focus on the shipping.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. It's all or nothing. Yeah,
100% how I
yeah. You know, I don't know if it's me or Potters or whatever. Like, if I don't start in the morning and just hit the ground running with some music and some coffee, I'm probably not going to do anything that day.
really I don't work like that at all.
I have to.
Mm-mm.
Like, you're probably a night owl, aren't
I
you?
am a night owl. I sleep in, have my time with the cats in the morning, sip some coffee, get to the studio between 11 and 12, hit the ground running, usually go home between 5 and 6, but I do that usually 6 or 7
Yeah,
days a week.
yeah, yeah. That's not too bad. I just feel like I don't know. Sometimes if it's like 2 in the afternoon, I'm like, I don't know. Do I really want to bust open a bag of clay right now and start throwing? I'm like, I'll do it
Oh,
tomorrow.
yeah. It's fair. It depends on where I am in the process. Because, some
Sure.
things you need a full day for where you start early so that, like you have time to get everything where it needs to be so that you can actually put it away.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I started making these salt and pepper sets the other day.
Oh, I love those.
These little guys.
Yes.
Just had to put a foot on the bottom because I was like, I made them, and then I was thinking, well, if you're gonna put the hole to fill through the bottom,
Mhm.
right? It's gonna need to be have a little cork.
Yeah.
And I said, you can't have a cork on the bottom; it won't stand up. So I put feet on the bottom and cut
Yeah,
the
I
feet out.
actually have these right here. This is what I use for salt and pepper shakers. They're really nice.
What is it?
They're just like little plastic stoppers.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh,
instead of
that's
a cork that sticks out, it's a little bit more flush.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
do still need like a bit of a divot,
A
but it
little bit,
lays
yeah.
like a lot more flat than a cork would.
Oh, that's a great idea. Where'd you get those?
Amazon.
Yeah, we'll have to look for those. So I did a couple of sets. I did some big ones like these, big tall ones,
I like them.
and then some little ones.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to tell my wife. I was like, you think about how much time went into making that.
Hmm.
I'm like, those have to be $100,
Yeah.
$150. I'm like, and living in a small town like Avon or
Hmm.
Naples, New York, we get the old ladies at the golf course, and then I tell them that I'm a potter, and the one lady goes, "Ask him what he sells his coffee mugs for," and they go, "What?" I'm like,
Who buys those?
"Yeah, yeah. Are you crazy?" Oh my god! I was walking through Target the other day,
Hmm.
TJ Maxx, and it was a crappy piece of ceramic. It was something like this, but it was like $3.99. I'm
Hmm.
like, that's disturbing.
It is disturbing.
It is. It's disturbing. Like that's junk. Um, I'm kind of diving into this. This was a test mug. This kind of floral thing I'm playing with,
I
and
like
I,
that
I just
shape.
like. Thank you. The light blue terracid just really kind of lightly comes through underneath it.
Mhm. And is that just painted cobalt?
No, it's a blue terracid I did with ZRVN Zervin blue. There, like it's just a terrasigilata,
Cool.
light blue
I've
terrasigilata.
never used TerraStitch.
Oh, it's fun, but it just bleeds through just a little bit. So I'm like, okay, I kind of like that. I'm gonna do a whole series like that. So
Yeah.
we got a shelf full. We're gonna see what happens.
Fun.
I'll text you next week and go, hey, they suck. Didn't work, huh?
Big failure.
Yeah. Well, what I want to do is like, so I know the blue comes through a little bit. So I did some, what the heck is it? Chartreuse
Mhm.
underneath,
Oh, I
and
love
then the blue
TerraStitch.
over. So then I'll draw flowers on that with my underglaze pen, and hopefully it doesn't suck. We're going to find out.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. I made the blue a little brighter. Here, I'll show you this piece the other day. I found it by messing around with this. This thing. This jar.
Ooh, that's sweet. I love a pattern that continues onto a lid.
Yeah, isn't that fun?
Yeah, that's
so
really nice.
that was just textured into the clay, and then I just painted it full of terracid. So it's really like subtle, you know? Isn't that a fun piece?
Square lid too. Do you hand build primarily?
Yes. Yes. I love lidded jars. I was a thrower for the longest time, and I love throwing on the wheel. Don't get me wrong. I still throw my mug bodies because I haven't figured out how to build a nice, not heavy mug.
And it works so much when you're hand building. It's like,
yeah, it comes out. It just doesn't come out the way I like.
Yeah.
So I throw the bodies and then I alter the hell out of them and decorate the shit out of them. So they look as handled as they can. But, years ago I was just messing around and I was like, I'm going to coil build. You know who it was? Sunshine Cobb. You know who she is?
No, I don't.
I saw her hand building once and it was like a 30-second snippet of her smoothing her coils. And you ever get those moments where it just clicks in your head and you're like,
oh, if I did it that way.
Yeah, duh. I was like, that's so easy. And then I was like, ran to the studio and I made a piece. And I was like, yep, that's it.
Yep.
And then I love those moments when your brain explodes. You're like, oh my God, I can make so much stuff like that, you know?
Yes. Yeah, I can show you actually a little bit of my slip casting process.
Yes, let's check it out. We want to see process.
So this is the magic ingredient to my slip casting process. I buy these in bulk off of restaurant stores and use them instead of using cottle boards because they make all of your molds the same shape and size so they stack really nicely. And then I was only doing one-piece molds with these for the longest time just because I thought that's all I could do. But then I realized...
Oh, see? I love those moments.
But then I realized that if I had the piece upside down in there and I poured part way and then went in the... So I made molds that pull apart top to bottom instead of side to side. So that'll be the bottom of the piece and it comes out like this and it works incredibly well.
Okay. That's fantastic. So two things. What is your plaster mix? So who was it the other day? Tony Young says he does the island method where you do water and pour it in until it makes a little island.
That's exactly what I do. I don't measure anything.
I love it. Good. I don't measure anything.
No. Yeah, I just mix it in a bucket with my hands. I don't even have a plaster mixer.
Okay. That's great. I love it. So it's funny. I'm a Terra Sigillata guy, right? And I just taught a workshop on Terra Sigillata online, and I started the show off with the book back here on my shelf that I learned from. And I said, look, if you want to do this the right way, buy this book. I said, I'm going to teach you how I do it. It's not the right way.
It works.
It works for what I want, you know? So if you want to get super deep into it and you want to measure and do testing of 1%, 2%, 3%, have at it.
Your molds are going to last forever, way longer than mine probably. They won't degrade in the same way. But honestly, I almost never throw away molds. I just keep using them forever.
Here's a mold. I used to do plaster. I used to do these, right? And look, see, that's how good my mold making is. And I made it so poorly. This thing's probably 8 years old, and I could still scratch it with my fingernail.
Oh, yeah. But if it matter?
No, make another one, right? Yeah. I make these out of, I bisque them.
Oh, cool.
So then this thing will last forever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So when you put that, question, because I want to make some molds. There's some certain things I want to make. I had a guy years ago tell me when I first learned of slip casting, I said, oh, that's kind of brilliant way to do that. And he said, I'll tell you, Mike, if you're going to slip cast a mug, it better be a good mug. He's like, because you're going to make 300 of them.
Yeah. If you're going to bother to make a mold of it, because plaster's not cheap either, it better
No.
be a good mold.
Yeah. Well, I was at Pentaculum at Aramont a couple of years ago.
Me too.
Were you?
Yeah, I did it 2 years ago.
Was it Pentaculum?
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that
Lynn
great?
Hobaika, she's the best.
Who was it?
Lynn Hobaika was the organizer.
Yeah. I asked her how to say her name. She was there when she went with me. She said her dad used to own a bike store, and her dad used to say, there's nothing like a Hobaika or something like that.
That's so funny.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart. Isn't she fun?
Oh, she's so fun and cool and talented.
Yes. And so's her husband?
Yeah, I
Partner?
think they're married.
Ricky?
Yes, also incredibly talented.
Yeah. I sent him a picture of one of his pieces at NCCA a few years ago, and I sent him a message saying, hey, I think this will fit in my bag.
Oh, that's funny. I did Pentaculum with George Rodriguez, actually, who's wildly talented.
Yeah.
I was just like, took a picture of, I was like, oh, I have a picture with your statue at NCCA. Here it is. And he was like, oh, that's weird.
That's great. Creepy. Yeah.
A little too enthusiastic. Maybe cool it.
Yeah. I just taught down there. I taught a workshop in November. It was amazing. I love that place.
It was amazing. I had the best time there.
sent a message to Isaac that works there. I said, why doesn't Aramont just sponsor my show? I'm like, we'll put together a little 10-second commercial in the front. And I'm like, you can send me T-shirts. I don't care. I don't got to pay me. Like, it'd be fun. We just got off track. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh yeah. So I want to be the guy who picks the Pentaculum people. I think you got to you do it for 2 or 3 years in a row and then you switch.
Yeah, I think that's probably correct.
So that would be super fun because I love that place.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to my mold question. So if this is your popcorn thing, you put your piece in there and then pour around it, you said?
Yeah, so what I do is I'll throw a solid form on the wheel.
Okay, yeah.
And then I'll put it in rim down against the bottom. And then, let's see.
You glue it down or anything?
No,
No?
just pop it in there.
Doesn't float?
No, because it's heavy and solid. So it doesn't float. Sometimes the rim can get a little bit some of the plaster will go around it and you'll have to kind of carve it out.
Yeah.
It's just like a quick sand and carve. It's easy enough to do. And yeah, so if it's just a straight piece that will come out, like for instance, this is a one-piece. Oh no, this isn't a one-piece mold. Sorry, I'm thinking my process. This is actually a hollow mold.
Yeah.
So
I like the solid idea. That makes sense to me now.
yeah, but sometimes when I'm making a mold, I'll just pour it so that it goes through, and then I'll rubber band a piece of plaster on the bottom or the top so that the shape can go either way.
Okay. All right. Very cool.
Either this could be the rim, or that could be the bottom, and this could be the rim. But
I like to make things as a press mold. Like there's certain things I want to make and then use it as a press mold and then take the two pieces and put them together.
Interesting. I've never done that.
Like spouts. Like I want to make a tea spout. Like tea spouts are so fun. I hand build them a lot, but they're kind of okay. And then you could throw them on the wheel. Yeah. It's just a fun little bottle.
I know. I feel like this outs me as like a fake potter, but I've never made a teapot.
You gotta make a teapot.
I guess so. I don't know.
You're like,
I don't really have a lot of interest in making a teapot. They seem so daunting and difficult. If it doesn't
They
go
are.
right, I'll be furious.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. Like, because this thing, I was just messing around. I wanted to throw this shape because I haven't thrown it in a while. Love it. Kind of fun. Put a cork in it, and it goes blip, 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 blip. Like the little edge, it's sharp enough that it should cut off water, and it pours really nice. And then you go, whoop, and it goes blip, blip, blip. I'm like,
Yep.
It's just put it in the smash pile. Smash. Yeah, there goes another piece.
An oil pot or something, maybe?
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a cruette, like an olive oil pot.
Yeah.
I put a little hole here by the handle so you can kind of hold it and control it with your thumb. Yeah, it's for olive oil, sitting next to your stove. But I don't know. You know what I've heard people do actually is take oil and put oil around the spout.
Oh, as like a resist.
So when it pours and tries to drip, it won't drip.
That's a good trick. All right.
It is kind of brilliant, isn't it?
I'll
I
make
think
a
I might.
teapot someday, but I don't know when that'll be.
You're right. The failure rate is way too high. I was actually in Ceramics Monthly for a teapot a couple years ago.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah, it's up there on the shelf. Actually, that's the one right there. That sitting on the wall. My wife framed it for me. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Very nice.
No, that was just to me. It was mind blowing because I'm a self-taught potter.
Yeah, same.
You know what I mean? So to be there was like,
Yeah. Among the intellectuals.
yeah, I was hanging out with them smart people.
Mm-hmm.
Those people that make those glazes that I have no idea how they work.
Oh, yeah. Those scientists.
Yes. Yeah, just send me the recipe. I don't want to know anything else. I agree. Well, I'm glad to know that somebody as successful as you in pottery does it as lackadaisically as me. If that's a
Yeah, no. I am a very slap.
no offense, yeah. I don't want this to be work. Well, I don't. Not that I don't want it to be work. I don't want it to be hard. I like it.
I don't want it to be unenjoyable hard work. I do enjoy a lot of the hard work parts of it.
Yeah.
But measuring is boring, so I don't plan on doing that.
You know, I'll show you something here the other day. So we were talking about potters with ADHD, right? Which I think a lot of us are. So I started hand building these big giant kind of vases. This thing probably weighs 15 pounds. It's huge, you know. I made that, and I did this big bottle right here, this big thing. And it's kind of like, as you can see, that's about as far as my ADHD will let me go.
Yeah, you're not interested in finishing those projects now?
I get bored right about here. You know, I'm like, because it's coil building. It's coil, you know, it's repetition and blah.
Yeah, but it's based on your attention level.
Yeah, I think
Everything is based on attention level for me.
Yeah, and mine stinks.
No. Well, my attention level is very interest based, so if I'm not interested in it, I can't. It's so hard to do it. So I
completely
can do
agree.
it, but I have to really force myself, and it's incredibly difficult. And this just wouldn't be sustainable if I was doing that. Everything.
No, I completely agree, and I feel exactly the same. It's if I'm not liking it, I'm probably just not going to do it.
Whereas if I'm liking it, I'll be 9 hours in and realize like, oh, I'm starving and I have to pee so badly.
There's no middle ground.
There is not. All or nothing is the only way.
Yeah, I'm so happy to hear you say that. All right, that's a good way to finish. We're at an hour and 15 minutes already. Look at that. That was fun.
That really flew by.
Yeah, exactly. So this is what's fun. We can make stuff and chat. And there's nothing I want to do more in this world than sit and make stuff with other potters.
100%. And I'm not even close to done with this. So.
Yeah, see?
So then I have to go back over with a layer of black and paint in the eyes. And then for this one, I'm going to be going back in with just this Duncan Easy Stroke clear to just paint in like matte versus shiny to leave that contrast.
Oh, neat. We'll have to do a swap. We'll have to do a mug swap.
I'm in.
Hell yeah. I could just drive it up. We could literally swap.
Absolutely. Yeah, in person. Next time we go into studio sales, we'll coordinate.
Hell yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Because I had a guy build a shelf for me. I don't know if you've seen it on my Instagram. It's like a mug cubby.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
It's cool as hell. And the guy built it. We traded for golf lessons and a 3-wood.
That's a good trade.
But it holds like 30 mugs. And he hung it up, and I filled it, and I said, "Well, shit, I need 2 more of those."
Yeah. I was just about to be like, "Did you not have enough mugs to fill that? Because that doesn't sound correct."
Oh no, I got a lot.
Yeah, it's the opposite. Yeah.
Yeah.
My shelves are deep with mugs.
Yeah, I might have to put 2 in each cubby, and I don't want to do that. Becky Hawthorne sent me one. Ron Philbeck sent me one. And that's kind of the new thing we're doing. It's like, hey, let's swap at the end of the show. So you can pick one. We'll see how these come out.
Yeah, fun.
Yeah, very cool.
This one turns out good. We can trade this one.
Yeah, hell yeah, I want that one. That'd be so cool.
Yeah, I feel like that
Like
would be
that's
fun.
the one she worked on while we chatted. Yeah. Awesome. So tell us a couple things before we end. Where can we buy your work? What's your website?
Yeah, my website is mtcpottery.com. It's my initials with pottery. I
Okay.
sell everything through my website. I usually have about 6 shop updates a year, so every other month I'll have an update and put new work on my website.
And you said one's coming this week.
Yeah, this Friday at 7.
Very cool. Oh shoot, I was gonna say I could post that out there, but this won't be up for a couple of weeks.
Maybe there will be some stragglers and people can find them.
Yeah, very cool. So you don't do galleries at all? It's all just on your website?
Yeah, no. Oh, I've done a few through Charlie Cummings Gallery. I think I still have some stuff available through them from older
Yep.
shows.
Yeah, they do great work down there.
Yeah, they're really cool. I've done a
Yeah.
few other like Instagram online galleries, like Saltstone Ceramics. I participated in Mug Madness a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I was in that too. Yep.
Yeah.
That's a great little. I love the way they do like a bracket system.
Yeah, it's so
It's kind of
cool.
fun.
It's the only
It's fun.
sports I've ever participated in.
That's too funny. Okay, so that. What else we got? Oh, and a good tip. I want to take a picture of the cat.
My tip, which is just more general to artists, is to switch up your medium and materials at least once a year. Try something new because, if you're just working with stoneware and dipping glazes or under glazes, I don't know. I feel like your brain can stagnate. And just simply trying something new can open up a whole world of possibilities for you to bring back even into your regular practice.
That's a great one. That's kind of a sort of a running theme on this show as well, is to experiment.
Yeah.
Just play, and a lot of times good stuff comes out of play.
I feel like the best stuff comes out of play.
Yeah, see, I agree. And, and like you said, your work can kind of get stagnant when you stick with one thing, and it comes through in your pots.
Yeah, it looks like I was bored making it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how
Yep,
it
yep,
feels.
yep. And then your shelves are full of stuff, and you're like, what's happening?
No, you want the posts to vibrate with the energy of the art on them.
I love it. Well, this has been fantastic, Maliya. I'm looking forward to meeting you in person, which will probably be pretty soon because I'll probably be up in Rochester in the next couple of days. So
I'm in.
I'll
Just
shoot.
let me know. I have a very flexible schedule.
Yeah, very cool. Me too until April. So
Yeah.
we have time.
All right.
So
Winter.
I appreciate you. I will be seeing you a lot, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Thanks so
Thank
much
you
for
very much.
having me. This was really fun.
Bye, Maliya.
See you later.
See ya.